Social smoking is just people pleasing in disguise. Here's what I mean by that. 8 years ago, I was with friends and I actually quit smoking cold turkey for straight 30 days. I had friends in my home and I was working. So I was like very self-centered back then and was focusing on myself. And if you're anything like me, you would find a way to do whatever you want. I didn't have money to get a gym membership, so I trained at home, calisthenics and running and diet, all the whole package, right? Trying to fortify my mind to become a better person. But there was one problem that I didn't cure because of my past neglect that I got from my parents, which was people pleasing. Now, when people think about people pleasing, they would think about clinging to some girl or getting approval somehow from someone who they admire more. But that's not the only way to please people. There is also another way, which is to self-sabotage. So what happened in that year in particular was I was 30 days clean from smoking. I quit cold turkey. And I was sitting with friends, waiting for the garage door to open to get into work. And we were sitting outside drinking coffee, having breakfast, something like that. My friend was smoking casually. And back then, my colleagues were inspired by what I did. I lost weight and started doing like gym stuff and quit cigarettes cold turkey, and they got inspired and they wanted to do the same, but they were group quitting. So that's also like, that doesn't work. I will in later video explain why it doesn't work, but for the purpose of this video, they got patches, gums, pouches, everything you can purchase from the pharmacy, right? To quit nicotine, to quit smoking in particular, not nicotine. They are filled with nicotine, this stuff. And so the real cost for them was a week of adrenaline. The end result was a week of adrenaline, a protein powder pack, and a few nicotine gums and patches. That's the result. And they went back to smoking again. I didn't for 30 days, but when I sat with my friend, I asked him for a cigarette because I felt there was like internally, I don't remember precisely why, but my actions explain it. I was leveling up, right? And I was here and they were here because I succeeded and proved my willpower and my resilience. They didn't. But since I have people pleasing tendency, or I basically wanted to stay in the group, in the tribe. So what happened in action is that I leveled myself down to match their power, to match their level. And I went back full on smoking. I tried to quit multiple times, it didn't work out. For the same reason. Because being alone was more terrifying than actually being smoke-free. And so, and it happened a lot. I see it all the time on Reddit. I see it all the time when people talk about group or social smoking. There is no social smoking. You're actually people pleasing. Because when it comes to smoking socially, so-called socially, what does it mean really? Let's dissect it. I only sabotage myself and get addicted intentionally so I can go along with the group. If that's not people pleasing, I don't know what is. Be honest with yourself. Isn't that you wanting to belong? And there's nothing wrong with wanting to belong. It's just, the expense is your body, is your lungs, is your self-respect, is your boundaries. And that's the key part here. You are not the center of attention. You're not the center of your life. What's happening is that you are outsourcing that center to a collective entity called the tribe or group that you hang out with, that you go to clubs with, that you visit touristic places with, and we want to have fun with. So smoking becomes your tool to say, I am with you guys. I am just like you. I belong. That's what social smoking is. It has no other definition. If you think about it, how do you socialize while smoking? What social value does it have? Nothing. You can socialize without smoking, isn't that right? You can have girlfriend without being smoking, without being a smoker. You can have parents. You can have relationship with your parents. You can have relationship with everyone, whether you're smoking or not. So that there is no such thing called socially smoking. It's people pleasing in disguise. That's what it is. So now you know. Now you see what's going on. Okay, how to fix it? Simple. In this video, I only have one solution for you. It's one word even. It's called boundaries. You see, this is my third cup of coffee. It's like, oof, my brain. Oof. Now, boundaries are what you allow in your life. What you say yes or no to. There are gates. When you say yes to something, whether in action or verbally, then your boundaries move accordingly. In smoking in particular, what happens is that your boundaries with yourself shift all the time. Meaning you set yourself a hard rule not to smoke in the morning. Yet you smoke, and then what happens? Your boundaries shift a little bit. But since there are boundaries everywhere, there will be an overlap. There will be a gate that opens when you shift all the boundaries back and forth. You will be open from all sides. If you allow smoking in your life, you allow some chaos in your life. When you allow smoking and chaos in your life, you will allow self-sabotage in careers. You will allow self-sabotage in relationships. That's how it accumulates. And that's the dangerous part about smoking, not the lungs and not, forget the lungs and the throat and the smell, forget all that shit. Right? That's the real danger. It's the boundaries that get broken with each cigarette. And that's what social smoking is. It's broken boundaries. And to fix that, you set hard boundaries. You shift the line further up front. Here's what I did, for example. When I decided my final quit, I went to my wife and said, honey, I'm gonna quit smoking. From now on, no smoking indoor. No smoking in the living room, in the bedroom, anywhere in the house, only in the balcony. And if she would have resisted that, then this means she doesn't respect my boundaries. And therefore, she doesn't have respect for me. So I either select self-respect or self-soothing. Whether it's my boundaries, whether it's not. Whether I actually do what I say and say what I do, or I am just bullshitting. Simple as that. When I am with the friends, you never give me under any circumstance, even if I insist, don't ever give me, regardless of what happens. In work, I used to work in my own cubicle. I had a separate room, right? Some people would come in and smoke and shit. But when I quit smoking, I said a hard rule. Guys, no more coming in and smoking. Ever. Simple as that. If some friend offers, no, don't offer me again. If you do, there will be consequences. It's a hard boundary. No bullshitting. Like I said, it's. I remember this episode in Breaking Bad where Mike was talking to Walter White, telling him about the story where he was doing half measures and then it resulted in catastrophes. And at the end, he tells them, no more half measures. Well, that's exactly the dynamic you should be having with quitting smoking. Full measure. There are no half measures. That's why I am against, not against, but I don't favor the like cutting down or using nicotine patches. And these are negotiations. It's assuming that the relationship between you and nicotine is equal. It's like adult versus adult. It's actually more of a toxic relationship. You hate it and yet you can't let it go, and it is destroying you and yet you are allowing it. It's toxic relationship. So what you do in a toxic relationship is you cut clean. And socially cutting clean is one of the, like you can call it the harshest, but at the same time, most beneficial thing you would do when you quit smoking. These hard boundaries are the difference between relapsing under pressure from like social circle and from being the center of the social circle that you will create when you set up new boundaries in your life, when you have a new structure for your life. In the same way, you will get non-smoker friends. Even your smoker friends respect you to the point they don't even ask you how's quitting going. I've been 7 months clean. I know what I'm talking about. I have still my friends who smoke. We're cool and everything, and they don't allow like smoking with me. It became automatic. And even my wife, even my like in my with my ex-wife in the last couple of months we don't even talk about it. That's how you actually reshape the relationships around you. Some relationships are meant to end, and that's fine. It doesn't mean that you destroy yourself in order for someone else to enjoy being with you. That's what people pleasing is doing to you. And so the solution for it, when you're a smoker, is to set up hard boundaries and never allow crossing them again. Even after, and more like, it becomes more important even after you relapse. Let's say that you tried quitting like 2 or 3 times, right? And you lapsed every time. Then someone might say something nasty, like, I will give you 1 week and you will return. Here where your boundaries should be. Exactly. You tell them, don't ever talk to me again. You're either a support in this manner. Don't talk to me in this manner again. You're either a supportive or don't talk at all. Whoever this person might be. By whoever, I mean absolutely whoever. That's how you win that's how you quit from the people pleasing while smoking. Okay? And the result will be clear for you after you quit. When you quit for months, 2, 3, then the dynamic of the people around you starts to shift. They start to like see you as an inspiration. You hear these words. They say, "Man, you have such resilience. Man, you have such willpower," and you will start saying exactly like I say. It's not that I have willpower. It's not that I am special. It's just I decided to respect myself and never allow disrespect again in my life. When you reach that point, I promise you, you will feel on top of a mountain. And if you put in the work, if you're trying, You already deserve it. You just have to believe it yourself. You deserve to be on the top of your own life, in control, and seeing everything from afar. Okay? Now, you don't have to do that alone. You're welcome to get my coaching. I get you from even heavy smoker like I was used 30 cigarettes a day, bro. Like one and a half pack. Just to choose myself and allow people in my life. The incident that I told you about just now was 8 years ago. Exactly 8 years ago. And if I go back to that moment, I wouldn't smoke, because the trajectory that it set my life on is different from what I want to be today. It's just now, but at the same time, I get the experience. Anyways, that's it for me today. Stay safe and take care.